the sad truth and the bitter pill that most of us don't like swallowing is that no one really stays forever. And that's true. No one really stays forever. People come, people go. And if you have not learned how to belong to yourself, you'll always feel a gap, or you'll always feel lonely when someone leaves you. Welcome to Life and Love podcast, where we dive deep into beautiful, sometimes messy, and unpredictable journey called life. And of course, God being at the center of it all. Here we explore the stories, real talk, fresh perspective, and wisdom along the way. I am your host, Benoke. Hello, guys. Welcome to the second episode of Life and Love podcast. My name is Benoke, and I want to appreciate you guys for the love in the first episode. Thank you so much. And once again, karibuni sana. So today we are going to have our second episode, and this is topic I wanted to do as the first episode, but God's time is the best. So today's episode is actually out of lesson learned. They say experience is the best teacher. Yeah, and that's true. So today we are going to talk about solitude. And before we talk about solitude, let me guys give you a little story of myself, or tell you a little bit about myself. So I'm this kind of a person who knows how to love people. And sometimes I love it and sometimes I hate it. I don't know why. But when I choose to love people, I honestly love them with everything. Like I can literally move mountains for the people I love. Um, so I used to love spending time with my people and the people I loved. As I've said, I love people. So it happened somewhere last year, I got into a friendship rival or something. And it led to a breakup, friendship breakup, not a relationship breakup. And it really affected my life such that I was not used to being alone. I was not used to having some good time alone. And that's where I learned solitude. And that's where we are going to begin. I know when we all hear about solitude, what comes into our mind is loneliness. And that's where we should begin, what solitude is and what solitude is not. So solitude is basically not loneliness. Solitude is a choice to be alone and be content with it. Loneliness is being alone and not being okay with it. And most of the times, it's caused by circumstances. Yeah, the reason why most of us fear solitude, it's because we always think that we are not good enough to change our lives all by ourselves. I was once there and I thought so too. But thank God I learned about solitude because it has helped me. So I want to journey with you to share my experience, share my lessons, and maybe they will help you. I know they will. So one thing that I learned about solitude is solitude helps you grow in self-love. And I know when we all hear about self-love, we take our minds into taking ourselves out, cooking for ourselves a meal, buying ourselves new stuff, and pampering ourselves. But well, that is part of self-love, but it's not all about self-love. And I'd like to talk about self-love in 3 dimensions, maybe, or 4. And first one is knowing yourself, self-awareness. Self-love is knowing yourself and being aware of who you are, knowing your real characters, knowing your personality, knowing how you think, knowing how you react to different things, different situations, and basically uncovering everything about you. The second thing about self-love is accepting yourself, accepting who you are, uh, accepting everything that is inside you, whether good or bad. You know, the problem is most of the times we usually appreciate the good side of us and forget that we have a negative side or a bad side of us. And most of us, we are afraid of uncovering that bad side, not knowing that the more we keep it inside us, the more it gets darker inside us. So we need to actually appreciate both sides, appreciate the good side of you, and still appreciate the negative side of you because it lives with you, and try to see how you can work it out and become a better person. The third thing, self-love, helps you know how to turn your weaknesses or your flaws into your strengths. I know we all have that, and it's good that we know how to turn our flaws into our strengths. Like, you can be proud of it, even if it's not a good thing, but it's something that you can appreciate and be with it. Self-love also comes with protecting yourself, protecting yourself in all aspects, mentally, emotionally, physically, doing good things for yourself. Yeah, they say if you don't know yourself, if you cannot figure out who you are, then figure out who you are not and who you'll not want to become. And that's all about knowing ourselves. So I would like to encourage you that every day take at least 10 to 15 minutes just to know who you are, because I know that knowing yourself, it's not actually a 5 minutes journey. There are things you'll uncover about yourself as time goes on. So every time, take time to know to know who you are, to know what goes in your mind, a time where you can be free with yourself to tell yourself the truth, and just a time that you can be true to yourself without judgments or fear. The fact that you really don't know yourself, it's the simple reason why most of us settle for less, or why we accept the bare minimum from people. So it's good to know yourself. It's good to know who you really are. In my solitude journey, I've learned to know who I am. I take time every day to just uncover the things that I never knew about myself, because I spent most of my time with people and I didn't really have time to know who I am, and it has really helped me. So number 2, solitude helps you digest, reset, and maybe reflect. It's good every day that after maybe you are working, you have your business, you go to school, you're schooling, or anything that you do, at the end of the day, you'll come to your house, you'll come to your place, and just before rushing into doing something else, or after doing what you're supposed to do, maybe is house chores, maybe you had something that you were supposed to do, and after all that, after you've been busy in your house, take some time, digest about the day, reflect about the day, appreciate yourself for the wins that you've made, appreciate yourself for the goals that you achieved, maybe if you have a business or you're working. Take time to digest what you learned through the day, and correct yourself for where you failed, and correct yourself with love. Solitude also helps us grow in self-development. You're able to think about your dreams. It brings clarity of purpose. You're able to think about your dreams. You're able to acknowledge your desires and turn them into something better than just a desire. You can do something about it, take an action about it after you've figured it out. Don't just keep your desires to yourself just because there's no one who acknowledged them. You'll be doing injustice to yourself. Solitude also helps you know or learn how to belong to yourself. I guess this has been the most outstanding thing about solitude. You see how people, or how in class you used to have a topic and then a subtopic. So in the whole topic of solitude, learning on how to belong to myself, it has been the most outstanding subtopic for me. And I have appreciated it because, I've learned how to belong to myself. So learning to belong to yourself, the sad truth and the bitter pill that most of us don't like swallowing is that no one really stays forever. And that's true. No one really stays forever. People come, people go. And if you have not learned how to belong to yourself, you'll always feel a gap, or you'll always feel lonely when someone leaves you, or when someone leaves, may it be distance or emotionally, or a breakup like what happened to me. if you have to create enough space in your heart for yourself, such that being with yourself feels better, feels safe, and feels loved, and being with people feels like bonus and not an escape or a short-term fulfillment of happiness and joy. That's something that I have really learned, and it has really helped me on knowing who I am and just learning how to belong to myself, appreciating myself, doing everything good to myself. You see, I was this person who could actually do something better to people and forget myself. And solitude has helped me know that I should first begin with me, then I can now spread out the love to others, not start with others, then spread the love back to me. It should start with me, then I'm able to spread the love to other people. When you belong to yourself, you become strong and more so emotionally. You grow in emotional intelligence. You're able to have clear thoughts that are not affected, or they are not affected by third party. You are able to grow in emotional intelligence and be rooted in self-respect, that you don't have to place your joy on people, or you don't have to depend on people for joy or for happiness or for fulfillment of life. And belonging to yourself also gives you wisdom that comes with self-worth, that comes with knowing your worth, such that your worth is not dependent on outside approval, because that's something that I've actually suffered from. I don't want to say that I was once a people pleaser. It doesn't sound good to myself, but maybe that is. That I actually all the time tried to look for approval from my friends, from that party, and forgetting that I can grow in that self-respect and knowing really what my worth is without it being determined by other people. And I've really grown in that, and I'm happy for myself. I've learned how not to depend on other people for happiness. I have actually reduced my appetite for being with people. Like I'm comfortable. I'm more comfortable alone nowadays. Like I feel just so nice having my time and doing things at my own pace. Not at the end of the day, I don't have to feel like there's someone I didn't give my best to, because I've tried. I have tried. And I appreciate myself that I've learned to be honest with myself in my solitude moments. I've learned to be honest with God. And this is one time that I've learned to actually make God my best friend and just telling him everything. Because, it happened. So I've learned to make God my best friend and just being honest with myself and being honest with God. Solitude as helps you grow in God and grow your relationship with God. In your solitude moments, you can take time, reflect about your relationship with God, and mend and make your relationship with God be stronger. Uh, Meditate upon the word, have time for prayer, just in solitude moments. Think about the goodness of the Lord, think about how God loves you, think about God, and having a good relationship with God. It helps you have clear hearing of God, like you can hear God clearly. Sorry, you can hear God clearly, because there are no so many outside noises. That, let me just say that, because you're cool in your mind, you've just secluded time to know more about God. uh, Solitude should not actually be a one-day thing. It should be an everyday thing in your life. You should always practice solitude. Hey, sorry guys. You should always practice solitude. Um, yeah, because it shouldn't be a one-day thing. Solitude is actually, you grow. It's a journey to self. So every time you should have, every day, I will suggest every day have some solitude moments to just reflect and just be with yourself. How to keep solitude: just romanticize the things you do for yourself and make fun out of it. Do not overthink. Do not overthink to a point of feeling lonely. Take solitude moments just to think and just do what I've just said from the points that I have shared. Engage in activities that will bring fun out of it. You can try new skills. If you love cooking, you can try new cooking, new meals, new skills of cooking, the meals that you used to cook. If you can try crocheting, there are so many skills that you cannot outgrow out here. So take time in your solitude moments. You can grow your skills and you'll have advanced yourself. Uh, but do not allow sinful thoughts and actions in your solitude moments, guys. It shouldn't be so. So as I'm about to conclude, embrace solitude even in your friendships and in your relationships. Make sure that you have life outside that partner, you have life outside the friends, you have life outside the family, you can have your life alone. Embrace solitude in your friendships, in your relationships, and it will help you. It will help you grow in emotional intelligence. As I conclude, guys, solitude should be a personal choice and a valuable opportunity for self reflection, other than as a condition imposed by circumstances or other people's choices, plans, or their unavailability. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you in the next episode, and make sure you practice solitude.